Day one as a new real estate agent, what are the top 3 things to do? That's what we're going to talk about today. Welcome to the Real Estate Game Plan Podcast, where we bring you inspiration, actionable steps, and knowledge to build your game plan to take your real estate business to the next level. My name is Demo.
And I'm Derek, and we are licensed real estate brokers and your hosts for this podcast. Let's get started. Congratulations if you're watching this video and you're newly licensed. That is a huge accomplishment, and you've made a decision that's going to serve you for the rest of your career. So congrats on that.
Certainly. There's a lot that comes into being a new agent, right, Derek?
Yes, there is. And it's so easy to feel a bit lost. Maybe there's so many ideas that you have, but it's a good idea to get focused and come up with a plan, a simple plan that you can actually execute.
Yeah. And so many emails and marketing pieces that you get when you're a new agent that say, try this, use this, send money here, and we'll make you a rock star agent. But really what we want to talk about are fundamental things that you can do as a new agent, regardless of background, history, where you've worked before, things you know, people you know, which segues into point number 1. So top thing that we want to talk about are those people that already know, like, and trust you, or the people that you know, and we call it, sphere of influence, typically in a real estate capacity. And it's just writing down their names, writing down their emails, their birthdays, phone numbers, anything you can. And it can be as simple as putting it into an Excel spreadsheet. You don't have to go into this elaborate CRM system, pay all this money to do these great technological things to keep track of your group. You can do that, and that's kind of step 2. But really, the first thing is just to write it down, to have it, and to be able to use it, because you want to use it in step 2 that we're going to get to.
Absolutely. And I guess that's why they say it's all in who you know when you're in real estate. So that's a really good tip. And also having a schedule. So time blocking. For most of us, if we don't get it on our calendar, it may not happen. So time blocking is super important.
Very important, Derek. And that's a great point. For a new agent, a sample of your calendar might be 7 to 8 o'clock, somewhere in that time frame. Wake up, get ready for the day, work out, walk the dog, get the kids to school, whatever the task is that you have to get through. Blocking that out on your calendar as that every day, Monday through Friday. Especially if you're a full-time agent, then that's how you would want to go about it. And then after that time, maybe 8 to 8:30, getting your mindset right, reading some type of non-real estate motivational things that just get you in a good mindset. And then from 8:30 to 11:30, calling that group that we talked about in point number 1, right? Calling the people that know, like, and trust you, call the people that already know of you, checking in with them, hey, how's it going? I saw on Facebook that you got a new puppy, or, you went to France, or whatever the thing is, and just making that connection point, because at some point in there, you're going to talk about some things about how can I help you, you helping them, and they're going to ask, what's going on with you? And so that's your chance to update. Hey, I got my real estate license. I'm in this area. I'm very excited about it. So making sure that you are having that connection point, but you have to block out your calendar. And then after that time, blocking out for lunch. And then after that, after lunch, blocking out for showing property. And if you are a new agent and you do not have clients to actually show the properties to, then you as an agent, right, can
Absolutely.
go preview property.
I love that. As a new agent, you want to familiarize yourselves with the different communities, with the area. You will very quickly get a feel for what the market is like, not only in terms of price, but just buyer and seller expectations. So I absolutely think that it's very important. And regardless of any of these things that you choose to do, being consistent with them is also very important.
Exactly. And that's where that calendar really comes into play. So, you've shown properties, or you've previewed properties in the afternoon, and then you have your wind down period. That was WIND, wind down, not necessarily WINE. Wind down, although it could be. But, the wind down portion of it is you've seen those properties. If you did show a client, following up with them, writing offers if needed. But if it were you, previewing the properties as the agent, then you're making some notes, because if that's the area or the neighborhood that you want to geographically farm, then you want to have some notes in your system, whether it's on an iPad or a notebook or in the computer, previewed this property. These were the great features about it, or I noticed this community had a pool pool, swim, tennis. This one had, a playground, whatever it is. You're able to make those notes so that when you do have that client that from step one, you call and talk to, you can speak with, legitimacy about those properties. So,
Right. And one of the things that a lot of us love about real estate is you never stop learning.
mhm,
So when you're making this calendar and you had some awesome ideas, just a variety of things, scheduling that time for continuing education or maybe to review that contract. Maybe you don't have a buyer or seller yet, but you want to familiarize yourself with where that's going to be as you are with the communities by previewing the properties.
mhm.
And you just never stop learning.
Yeah, that's a great one, Derek. And that's our third point is educate yourself. There's so much to learn in real estate. There's so much available at your fingertips, especially here at Solid Source. We have a great channel at solidsourcechannel.com. Amazing videos, really full of content for new and experienced agents. But you can do that anytime you want. Sunday night, 10 o'clock, you can't sleep. You want to pull up a video and educate yourself, you're able to do that. But then you can also register for live CE classes. You can go to conferences, go in the MLS systems and take those educational pieces from there, or just play around in those systems, right? Familiarize yourself. That is a form of education. And so you bring up a great point to block out that time on that calendar from number 2 that we talked about with number 3, educate yourself.
Absolutely. And we offer continuing education courses on a monthly basis regularly here at Solid Source
hmm
at no additional cost for Solid Source agents. And it's a great way just to interact with other agents, again, to learn what's going on, or maybe once you do get that more experience, a way to stay up to date because changes happen really every year.
hmm Yeah, that's great. So let's review. Number 1 was write down your contacts. Number 2, block out your calendar. And number 3, educate yourself in real estate. So those are our ideas for the top 3 things to do as a new real estate agent on day 1. We'd love to hear from you, any feedback that you have. Thanks for watching. You've been listening to the Real Estate Game Plan podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube and leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you for listening.